John Quartermain here from Quartermain Lifestyle Coaching. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please subscribe below. I'll be here with plenty of videos as the weeks, months and years progress, covering various lifestyle topics such as exercise, nutrition, sleep, stress and much more. Anything you would like covered, feel free to comment below or private message me and I'll be happy to cover those topics. Now today's video we're going to be discussing physical activity, exercise, and what we'll be looking at within benefits. We'll look at what the recommendations are, what barriers we may face, and then how we can overcome those barriers. Firstly, the health benefits. As you probably know that physical activity and exercise are good for us, but how exactly are they good for us? Well, you'll see a reduced cardiovascular disease risk. So this includes a reduced hypertension rate, so high blood pressure can go down. We can also see a reduction in stroke and heart attack rates due to exercise. We'll also see an increase in HDL cholesterol, so high density lipoproteins are good cholesterol in our blood, which can be cardioprotective. In addition to this, we've seen a decrease in cancer risk. We also see a more controlled weight as there's more energy expenditure. Therefore, we see a decrease in obesity rates. We see a decrease in type 2 diabetes rates. We also see an increase in bone mineral density, so reduced osteoporosis risk. In addition to this, we see increased strength of the muscles and the connective tissue surrounding the joints, so a reduced risk of injury. But not just physically, we also see a mental impact there as well. So we can see an increase in people's resilience to stress, therefore reducing anxiety and depression rates. We've also seen increase in quality of life due to all of these factors combined, but also the community effect as well. It's been shown that being part of a community can help have an impact upon our overall mental health and well-being. So these are some of the benefits. It's not just exercise that's important, it's also physical activity. Now something called non-exercise activity thermogenesis, otherwise known as NEAT, and this is the amount of calories burned by doing things that don't involve eating, sleeping or sports-like activity. So just sort of everyday moving around, typing, scratching your shoulder, sneezing, these types of things. The actual recommendations are set by the American College of Sports Medicine, so the ACSM, and they recommend between 150 minutes to 300 minutes of moderate intensity exercise or 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous intensity exercise over the course of the week. They also recommend 2 days of resistance training or weight training, covering the whole body. Okay, so we've looked at some of the benefits, we looked at the recommendations. Now, some of the barriers we tend to face, the main barrier I come across all the time is time. So people tend to have limited time and find it difficult to exercise or to be more physically active. Now, whether that's due to long commutes, long working hours or having children, whatever the challenge may be, time tends to be the main thing that tends to get in the way. Not just time, other barriers could be having friends and family who are not also into physical activity or exercise, so it makes it more difficult if you're not part of a community that finds that as the norm. In addition to this, just lack of access to facilities has been shown to be a big barrier as well. So not having access to local gym, not having access to internet for YouTube, for example. So all of these things can be barriers. Now, first of all, understand what your barriers are, specifically to yourself, and then look at what you can put in place to help you overcome those barriers. Now, what I'd recommend for physical activity is tracking your steps, whether that's using a Fitbit, an Apple Watch, or just using your phone. Okay, or if you haven't got access to those things, just timing yourself and moving around more during the day. Little tips like getting off the bus, stop later. Sorry, getting on the bus, stop later. Getting off, stop earlier. Tracking your steps, moving out at lunchtime. Getting involved with a group. Teaming up with your friends and making exercise or physical activity the norm for your group. It may be a bit of work in the beginning, but once you do that, that will then be a normal behaviour and be much more difficult to move against the grain and make that happen. Okay, so put the work in first and then that could help you and all your friends and family get more active. There's different applications you can get to increase your activity levels. So things like the 7-minute workout is a good app you can use from home. You can also get different videos on YouTube that could help you. If you want to start doing yoga, I recommend Adrienne Yoga. Very good to follow on YouTube. There's lots of different ways you can get yourself involved. Just think about what your barriers are, how you can overcome them, and then plan your week so that you can include that physical activity and exercise into your routine. So you've got a good communication with your partner or your colleagues so they know when you're going to be doing that, and then you can include it into your daily schedule, make it a lot easier for you to include that into your working week. Okay, so we've looked at the health benefits, we've looked at the recommendations, what the main barriers are, and then how we can include that into our routine. I hope you found this video useful. If there are any questions or anything else you would like to discuss, feel free to comment below or feel free to drop me a private message. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you do have. I'll be here in future with more videos on lifestyle related topics. I've been John Quartermain from Quartermain Lifestyle Coaching. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.